Are you feeling frustrated because you love your wife or partner very much, but she's just not in the mood and keeps pushing you away, and you just don't know how much longer you can not have sex with a person, and how much longer you can keep being rejected before going elsewhere? By the end of this video, you will understand what's going on with your wife, and you'll also understand what's happening between the two of you, and you'll have two things that you can do right away to help shift this and bring intimacy back and create an amazing, blissfully bonded union with your loved one. I'm Carolin Hauser, and for the best intimacy and relationship advice, subscribe to my channel. Just hit the bell to make sure that you're subscribed and get notified when I publish new videos Monday through Friday every day. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people over the past 20 years that I've been involved in the personal development and healing field. I've written a couple of books on sexual healing and how to bring pleasure back into your life, and I've helped these people and myself to transform not just ourselves, but our relationships and our lives into an experience that is what we want it to be, an experience that's blissful, nourishing, and happy-making. I even have a thriving Facebook group that's called Creating a Blissful Marriage, where we talk about these topics that sometimes aren't so easy, and you're welcome to join, because now it's your turn. So now let's dive into why women, once they get married and have kids, seem to be losing their libido. You know, you marry a fun girl, and then over time she turns into a stressed out, never relaxing somebody that you don't know anymore. Why does this happen? Well, first of all, it happens because in society, women grow up with a lot of different programming around sex than men. It's okay to have sex and be fun, or do you need to do that to attract a man, but it's not okay to have fun and be sexually really fulfilled when you're a mother, for example. And there's many of those belief systems. For a man, the more sexually active they are, the more of a man you are. For a woman, the more sexually active you are, the more of a slut you are. Just to give you an example, right? And those things, even though we're consciously maybe beyond them and we're modern people, subconsciously that's still very much entrenched in our being. And so for most women, when they get married, they get into the role of wife and they get into the role of mother. And the role of wife and the role of mother is not the role of fun girl to have sex with, right? And so that's conflicting. Let me know if this is making sense and if you have questions. And by the way, I really feel for you. I know that you're a good guy, and don't ever let yourself be told that there's something wrong with you wanting to connect and be intimate. So the social and societal programming plays a big role, and then the other thing that also plays a huge role that we don't know about, that we don't learn about, is the way that we make love biologically. So there's two programs in our biology for lovemaking. One that leads to more babies, and that's what we know, regular sex with an orgasm. And then there's actually a second program in us, in our nervous system, in our hormonal system, that makes it so that we actually want to keep staying engaged. When we engage in procreation-based sex, which is what we know, we get fed up with each other biologically, subconsciously, because biologically we're programmed to procreate with as many diverse people as possible to make sure that the species lives on. Now, that program doesn't help us to really solidify our bonds, our unions. And so the second way to make love does not include orgasm, and I know that can sound scary in the beginning, but it includes something that feels much better, which is a different kind of a high caused by oxytocin. So a lot of this has to do with our hormone system, which hormones get triggered when we make love or have sex the way we know it, or when we make love and have sex the new way, it triggers a completely different hormone cascade. And so, as you know, libido, and especially for women, for men too, but for women it's even more pronounced, has a lot to do with the hormones. And so essentially the way that we make love influences hugely how much libido we have or how much we are into each other. So even though the programming is a big part, the way that you guys have made love or make love is kind of detrimental in causing her not being interested anymore, and you also not being as interested as you were probably. So in the beginning of this video, I promised to tell you two things that you can do right away to reverse this and bring the honeymoon feelings back and actually make them so that they last. The first thing is get help with removing the subconscious programming. It is literally like a cancer that needs to be removed from the brain, and there's people that know how to do that surgery. So there's nothing that you can do per se other than finding a person that knows how to remove subconscious programming. And I'm one of those people. And then the second part to this is getting educated about bonding-based lovemaking and transitioning into trying it out and seeing for yourself and seeing the results and convincing yourself that that's the better way. And I happen to teach bonding-based lovemaking also. When I first got introduced to this, I started out with this book. It's called Cupid's Poison Arrow. You can see mine is very well loved and used and worked with. So that's where you can start. So now that you know what is exactly needed in order for you to get your playmate back and make sure that you're not going to explode from blue balls or get so frustrated that you do go outside the relationship, or maybe you're already super lonely and have turned to porn and that's not making you happy. Also, now that you know, if you like, I have a masterclass on the 5 steps, the exact steps that I share with couples to help them bring their intimacy back and reconnect their relationships and make them the best it's ever been, turning them into deeply connected, physically, spiritually, mentally fulfilling sacred unions. To watch my free masterclass, you can grab a seat at the link below in the description. Also, if you'd like to join a community of men and couples just like you, I have a thriving Facebook group where we talk about these often tricky topics, and the link to join that group is also in the description below. Check out these other videos on bonding-based lovemaking next. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this with your friends. All my love to you. See you in the next video.